Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome you all to session 11 of Kala Se Rubar. We've come a long way now. So this is an initiative to celebrate Indian craftsmanship. While some designers curate new products, we have a few special who strive to preserve the old with their immense talent and creativity. Among these few, today with us we have Pooja Bansal from Artis. Hi Pooja.
Yeah, hi.
I see a beautiful painting behind you there.
Yeah, I've just started that painting.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
another
I may ask questions on that soon. Once we are deep into our session, you have questions on that. Okay, so
absolutely.
beginning with the session, starting with our session, so tell us about our teams, the products and services you offer.
Yeah. So hi everyone. This is Pooja here, and I'm from Artiques by Pooja Pankaj. So Artiques is all about modern restoration of old doors and windows. I pick up these old doors and windows from across India and I restore them with my artwork. The main purpose is to recycle and repurpose something which is already existing, and these are basically vintage doors and windows. So pick them up and bring them back into the homes of modern India. Yeah.
That's a really, like, yeah, my next question comes to that. You have a background in finance and economics for over 15 years. So what was the turning point, the moment you decided to change course, quit your job and just follow your passion?
Yeah, so you're right. I have 15 years of corporate finance experience, and it was kind of difficult. The passion was always there. I was always inclined to art. The turning point, I should say, came when out of nowhere, I had painted like these three windows, and I decided to apply and send my artwork to Kala Ghoda, the
Oh, wow.
designing team. Yeah, with Miss Chandani and Miss Brinda Miller. And apparently they loved my artwork, and that gave me a lot of confidence. I was like, maybe this is something that I want to do, So I decided that maybe I should explore this more, and it can't happen alongside my corporate career. So why don't I just quit and start my venture?
It is definitely a very strong and so strong decision to take about. I mean, for 15 years you're doing something and you decide to quit that and follow your passion. It's really brave of you, like really hats off.
I know. It takes a lot of courage, and
Yeah,
you keep back and forth. But I think if the passion is strong, then it just drives you forward. It just
definitely,
drives you.
definitely.
Yeah.
So has your degree and your work influenced Artiques in any way for its establishment?
I think I think I'm a strong believer of the fact that nothing goes waste. So whatever you've done, whatever you do, is always a learning experience.
Definitely,
And
yes.
yeah, and my 15 years with doing hardcore of Excel models involved a lot of creativity as well. When you're making a business plan and you
Yeah.
was it really helps me through the establishment. It helped me through establishing Artiques. It helped me through how I want to market my products, what are the target
Right.
audience. It gave me a lot of focus. Otherwise when you're starting afresh, you're kind of lost,
Yeah.
with respect to what you want to do, where you want to target, where you want to focus, uh, and you start doing a lot of things at the same time. So my experience really helped me. My
Yeah.
experience in the corporate field helped me in professional view, bringing a professional aspect to my whole
Right.
thing.
I think that is one thing I will definitely agree where designers lack or they face major problem in because I mean the field of business and then matching your design to it, putting it across, it's like one of the biggest challenges most of the designers face. So that you're lucky with you had already a huge experience with that. So yeah, I mean,
Thank you.
definitely will be helping. So moving ahead to understand your style and process. Fine arts has several options to it, of course. How did you decide to narrow down on retrofitting and revitalizing antique doors and windows?
So the whole journey started when I moved from Dubai to India. So
Okay.
even in Dubai, I was fascinated with doors and windows. But when I came to India, not that I had never been to India, I'm obviously born and brought up in India, but that whole, I think that whole journey had started back then when, I started noticing the doors and windows. I started noticing the architecture more. The pull was there. And when I see these, the chawls and the architecture being
Yeah.
brought down and houses coming in place of all these mills and other places. So it kept me wondering where these doors and windows would be going, whether they're getting scrapped, because that's the
Right.
most closest thing that can be attached to any family, because it sees you inside out. That's
Right.
the
Right.
the door and the window is something which sees you inside out. So it's the closest, I think, to any person's being. So that made me go thinking on where these doors and windows would be going, and the pull was so strong that it decided not to paint on canvases and just pick up these doors and windows and start painting on them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what you said about the about keeping these elements, these old design elements alive right now is one of the most essential thing. Even like definitely as for me too, because we see them getting scrapped each day. It's really a sad thing to watch.
And you see them, they belong to old houses,
Exactly.
palaces, your
Yeah.
grandmother's house, your family traditional ancestral property.
Yeah.
There's this whole thing. And when the bricks come down, the only thing which remains is, either the furniture or the decor items or these
Right.
doors and windows. So
Yeah.
I
Along.
decided to pick up all of these things and, just transport them into the modern time.
Yeah. Yeah, along with it being personal to that house and their ancestry, it's also a heritage heritage thing for the place and the country as well. That really defines how our history was. So I'm so happy you're doing something like that. So moving on, what is the process from inception of an idea to the finished product?
Ideating is a constant process. You
Yeah.
keep thinking of concepts. Wherever you go, you meet artists, you see them online, you see so many international works. So that ideation thinking is a constant process. But there's a lot of work which goes in picking up the doors and windows, bringing them onto a base where you can prepare them for painting, because these are scrapped and these are
Yeah.
also stitched and all. So it's not a very smooth surface for one to paint, and wood in itself is very difficult surface to paint because it absorbs a lot of paint,
Okay.
and changes the color of the paint. So you have to put multiple layers. You need to give a base and a strong base and all those things. So the preparatory work is a pretty tedious job, but then once you have it going, then you come up with a good piece.
So I'm sure like you just described a little what I mean the wood would require a lot of treatment since it's old, like you said. So what is the treatment you put for it?
On the contrary, since it's vintage wood, it requires the least treatment.
Okay.
Because it's been there, it's gone through the weather changes, it's
Yeah.
gone through its expansion and the whole process. It's been there for like 50 years or so. So it's totally vintage wood. There's no chance of any termite. There's no chance of any
Yeah.
infestation, anything. The only thing that one needs to be careful of is that the surface, and
Yeah.
that's the only preparation that is required basically. So smoothening it, having a good base, and scraping it a bit.
Right.
I like to keep some authenticity of the original wood or original paint onto the window. So I leave some part of it. I don't scrape the whole thing. I
Right.
don't
Yeah.
do a wood finish. I leave some paint here, there, to give it that original effect that it
Yeah.
belongs to an old door or a window.
Yeah, it should look infused, like the old mixing up with the new. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So, and do you have a team or do you handle all your projects on your own?
I have like a contract-based carpenter and painter kind of team, which does all the base work and the scraping and
Okay.
smoothing. And
Yeah.
in terms of expansion, I did have that on my plate, but because of COVID, everything got stalled. But yes,
And
expansion and bringing people on board is something which is next on my, agenda, and I'm sure it's going to happen very soon. Because there are enough and more projects coming in, and handling everything by yourself is extremely difficult and cannot be done.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
impossible, in
definitely.
fact. It's impossible.
But the artwork, it's only you who do it, or you have people whom you've trained and help you out with that?
The artwork mostly I do. The finishing, the artwork is something that I do because that's uh that's something that people really want me to finish on.
Yeah,
Since that is what I do, so they want that kind of finish, and I don't think that can be really taught to anyone because it really comes from within.
right.
You can teach painting, but you can't teach the finish.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, painting is very free flowing. It just happens. That's it.
yeah.
So how do you derive a concept for a project? Though? I mean, paintings are so diverse, and there's so many things you can get inspired from, and the outcome can be really varied. So how do you derive your concept for each project?
For me, concepts are a fusion of various concepts, a fusion of various styles, a fusion of various mediums. So, if I have an inclination and a love for Indian artwork, so I try and bring that out somewhere in my paintings. And I fuse that with some other style of
Okay.
painting. The inspiration and the concepts, they come from from the surroundings, from what I see around, from looking at international artists, the Indian artists, getting
Right.
inspired by them. And also, when you look at these doors and windows, some of them have unique structure to them, and
Right.
the
Yeah.
moment you come up with a new concept, you want to do something which really livens that window or
Yeah.
door, and brings life to it and makes it look even more beautiful. So it just happens, when you look at it.
Yeah. Sure. Even the place and the people who use it and all must be inspiring the concept for it, right?
If it's a commission work, then obviously, what the client says, what they want, what
Yeah.
is their ambience, interest, what are their likings, whether subtle,
Yeah. Yeah.
loud, so everything plays a lot of role. So everything defines what kind of concept, what kind of painting you're going to do on that.
Right. Do you have a personal favorite style you love experimenting with?
No, I'm a very, very experimental person. I still haven't developed my own style. I think I'm still in that journey of really evolving to the level where I will say that this is my style. I'm a very, very experimental person at the moment. I love experimenting, and I just explore. I just explore a lot of mediums and bases and concepts and artworks. I just keep doing that.
It's really interesting. I'd love like seeing the painting behind. I'm curious. Like, are you staying in your studio? We could have a nice look around if that is so.
Studio is a mess. But
That's
yeah, I will
fine. A
take you.
designer's place is always a mess.
Absolutely. Let me just show you some bit. One second. So
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
show you. This is one of the pieces that
That is so beautiful.
yeah, so this is inspired by the peacock throne. This is my own version of how the peacock throne would be and how it should look like all
Yeah.
vibrant and royal and luxurious and all those things. Um, and I have like a lot of artwork happening here, you see.
Okay, yeah, I can. It's really nice.
So,
It's really interesting. Are they two people chasing each other?
yeah, so you see now that these are two pieces. These are two separate pieces,
Okay.
the window pieces. And then I've like done a like kind of a scrape work on them. It's like
Oh,
done, yeah, in a manner that it merges with the background of the window.
yeah. So where are these windows from?
I pick them up from across, different places, like wherever I go, whichever dealer I meet. There are a few dealers now that are, common, and I
Yeah,
mostly source from them. Because you know the authenticity, the
right.
authenticity of the wood and the type, and you know that they are vintage. So, yeah, I pick them up from mainly all these dealers and all.
I'm absolutely in love with the peacock one, though, let me tell you. Like, it just, gave out so much tradition and nature along with it. That the yellow and red made it feel like, it's like a traditional sari, along with,
Absolutely.
flowing with the peacock around it. It was really beautiful.
Yeah, so it has become like one of the favorite types of painting. So I did this one. It's a smaller version of what I had done earlier.
Okay.
This one I made for the New York Art Fest, which festival which I wanted to participate in, and unfortunately it just got postponed because of COVID.
Oh,
So it's happening next year. So yeah, I'm going to be taking some of Indian artwork over there, to bring that Indian culture, to show the Indian culture on an Indian piece and not
yeah.
on any canvas. So window belongs to India, the Jharokha belongs to India,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
the artwork is obviously
I
from
have a
there.
Saroka right above me here, painted by my mom.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so going back to you.
Super. I'm
So do
glad
you
this is
cater?
happening.
Sorry?
I'm glad this is happening. I'm glad,
Yeah.
your mom and there are others who love these kind of works.
Yes, she does. So, do you cater to reviving the old or also work on new constructions?
So in my portfolio, when I'm building my portfolio, it's basically old pieces that I pick, and those are the ones that I sell. But if there is a commission work, then obviously then I work on the client side, and most of those are new construction sites. So
Okay.
either it's wall or a wardrobe or a cabinet, furniture.
Sorry. Just thundered really loudly.
So yeah.
So describe a personal favorite endeavor of yours or your creation and how you came about it. What was the process?
So my favorite creation has been this peacock window.
Okay.
Yeah, and it came when I was just, when I had just gone to this dealer and I saw this old Jharokha, which obviously must have come from Rajasthan, somewhere in Rajasthan. And, I was like, in those days, I was something called Kala Ghoda, which was uh, Indian heritage.
Yeah.
And so I made this door panel with kings and queens of India, and I made this with the peacock throne theme. That this is kind of what I would visualize the peacock throne to be like, all colorful and vibrant and royal looking and with colors and everything. So this has been my personal favorite, an imagination of, an interpretation of basically what a peacock throne would have
Yeah.
looked like. And yeah, so that's how I came about it. And those are the ones that I had put up in Kala Ghoda Festival.
That's really nice. I think I must have come across you also because I've been visiting it for a few years now and I'm sure I must have seen your work there.
I'm sure you would.
So, along with Kala Kola, where else have you displayed and sold your products? So, what all exhibitions have you been a part of?
So I have been a part of exhibitions like AMC, or IMC, sorry, IMC exhibition, which happens in Worli. But
Okay.
of late, I've started focusing a lot on my target audience, which is basically interior designers and architects.
Yeah.
And so I'm participating more in exhibitions where I can network with them, I can showcase my products, because
Yeah.
it's not like a painting on canvas that I can take to a gallery and,
Of course.
just sell from them. But it has to be a part, and any project of a house or anything, or a restaurant or anything. So I need to constantly. That's why I participated in exhibitions like Foid, Decode, and such exhibitions, which are primarily with architects and interior
Okay.
designers.
Okay, that's great. Are you in Mumbai currently, or where have you settled?
Yeah, so currently in Mumbai.
So I'm thinking you'll be hearing that loud thundering outside too right now.
Yes, it's loud thunder outside.
It's crazy. It's just so sudden and surprising. Okay, carrying on. So how do you price your art?
See, pricing is kind of a little tricky because,
Yeah.
but largely it depends on the size of the
Yeah.
piece. If I'm procuring a vintage door, for example, then the door in itself carries a value,
Yeah.
that the dealer expresses and gives. But in terms of the artwork, it largely depends on the size of the painting and the
Right.
kind of layers that is required on that painting, the kind of detailing that is required on the painting.
Right.
So mostly these two attributes.
And so do you also have a standard set of design, or each project unfolds a new art?
Thankfully, each project unfolds a new one, a new style. And, that keeps me excited also because, as I said, I'm very, very experimental
Yeah.
person. And, with when a client comes up with a new project or a new requirement of commission art, then, it's just amazing how you can just explore different
Yes.
concepts and different styles on it.
Yeah. I think it's also difficult to repeat your art. Like even if you try to do so, you just end up coming up with something new.
Absolutely, absolutely. You always end up making something new. You can never repeat something that you've
Yeah.
already done.
Okay. So as art already is extremely subjective, how do you convince your clients for a particular design? And have you experienced any blunders in this process?
Where convincing part is concerned, I have tried to convince my artwork.
Yeah.
Because I feel that it's very personal and as you said, it's very
Yes.
subjective and very
Yeah.
personal. So, I don't want an art piece to just be pushed onto the client.
Yeah.
Any artwork, it should really, really be very close to their heart as well.
Definitely.
So,
Yes.
you want to be sitting there, staying there, seeing that painting through day in, day out. So it should basically come from within their heart, what they
Yeah.
want. Then how you bring that concept out is something which I do, which I talk to them, consult with them, and then we agree and we bring those things out. In terms of blunder, yes, I've made blunders, but one blunder that I distinctly remember is when a designer had given me wardrobe doors to be painted,
Okay.
for a he wardrobe and a she wardrobe, and they were of different sizes. So one was a big size door, and there was a small size piece of second. And assuming that the he doors would be smaller in size, and the she doors, obviously, the wardrobe would be bigger in size because that's how I would see my doors to be.
Yeah.
My wardrobe much bigger than my husband's wardrobe. So I painted them accordingly. So the larger ones had the she concept, and the smaller one had the he concept. And I sent the images back to the client, the designer, and she's like, "Well, it's good, it's fabulous, but you know what? You swapped the wardrobes." And I'm like, "Oh no!" And since these wardrobe pieces had actually come from the designer, I literally had to scrap the whole thing. I had to
Oh
scrape
my
the
God.
yeah, and I had to redo the whole concept. But that was an immense learning that I can't assume things in places. Whatever. I have to ask the smallest of questions before I do a commission
Definitely.
work.
That's true. I mean, definitely each experience is a new learning. Though I really wish she hadn't scrapped those pieces.
No, I know.
All right. So,
I think everybody can, can actually try their hands on, because these pieces are available everywhere, and just
yeah.
picking these and painting on them is just a fabulous experience. So everybody must, one must try this.
I can't wait to visit the next exhibition you hold and I can actually see these paintings live. It's going to be beautiful. So there's always a period of struggle to reach a milestone. What was yours?
Well, my struggle was largely to do with the space where I'm going to paint, because because mine are very heavy doors and windows.
Yeah.
So they are literally from like 25 kilos to 100 kilos or 200 kilos. And to have it anywhere in Bombay is extremely difficult. So my struggle actually started with finding a proper space where I could actually start painting on the ground floor, because carrying them up and down is also a laborious task. So that was like a difficult part of my of my beginning, where I had to find the place where I wanted to like work, which appealed to my heart also.
Right.
And then this whole thing of moving from corporate world to an art world, and a new set of demographics, a new set of people to interact with, build your own network, build your own style and everything. So that obviously was there initially.
So, did you have any initial capital investment for the firm, or how did you just make it happen?
Yeah, I mean, buying these doors, windows, paying for the rents,
Yeah.
and all, you need enough investment, and largely it came from the savings that I had from my corporate stint. So since I had decided that I wanted to take this plunge, so slowly I had built up this whole resource to dive into it. So that is the investment that I really used.
So what are you working on currently?
Currently I have like a few projects which are happening, client projects. So there is one in Goregaon where I'm working on furniture pieces and doors, and
Okay.
I've just dispatched headboards to Chennai, which I had painted. And then I have a villa which is being painted, and some artworks being done there by me in Lonavala. And then obviously my own portfolio where I keep experimenting, like you see this one. And there is another set that I'm working on. So like 2-3 pieces that I'm working on, at the same time.
That's beautiful. So has there been any project where let's say it's an old Haveli or something and their windows are wearing out, so they remove it, they give it to you and again it's installed back in the same place?
I would love that to happen. It hasn't yet happened, though, I was in talk with somebody in Rajasthan for a similar experience, but because of this whole corona thing, everything's got stalled. So let's see if that ever gets revived. Then yes, that would be a dream come true.
Yeah, I'm sure. So what would you say would like to see the future artists out there?
To the future artists, I would definitely say that don't get discouraged, don't give up on yourself, on your artwork, because every piece of art that you make from your heart is going to come out to be very, very beautiful. I had enough and more discouragement, and people dissuaded me from doing art on doors and windows in my first year. But I realized that was what I wanted to do. That is where my passion was, and that was really attracting and drawing me towards it. So I couldn't leave it, and I kept at it for like 2 years, and now you see a lot of traction happening. People are exploring the idea of having these doors and windows even though they're heavy, and in a city like Mumbai where, there's a space crunch and people are, more inclined towards modern, lightweight both and, furniture. But slowly, I think they're seeing a lot of, substance in these artworks. So I'm sure they will come through. So yeah, so to the artists, just stay with your artwork, do it with passion, keep learning. Learning is the constant journey. You should
Yes.
never stop. Don't stop experimenting. You will get your style soon, so don't be in a hurry to find your style. you know. But yeah, have confidence in yourself.
Well, thank you so much. I'm sure you're going to be a big inspiration for many out there who actually plan to take.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pooja.
Thank you. Thank you so much for
It
having
was
me.
great talking to you.